I'm going to max out all of these possible modifiers in BTD6, and we're gonna try and beat 100 rounds with this thing. So bloom speed, completely max, Moab speed, these guys are gonna be flying through. I mean, when a red balloon comes out, we're not even gonna be able to see it, and let alone who knows what's gonna be happening later on. But on top of that, the ceramic, the Moab health, everything is maxed out. So these guys are probably gonna need to get one shot or something like that. Rewrite maxed out, and then we cannot rely on abilities. So yeah, let's see how we can do this thing. I do want to mention though, I'm playing on medium standard just because I think that we're gonna need monkey knowledge for sure. But this is exactly the reason why I wanted to play on medium mode, and basically in a game mode that allows monkey knowledge in general, which is that we are going to need to make some sacrifices in the early game so that we can get some farms going and just get ready for this game mode, because this is insane. Honestly, I mean, it's round 8 and we're already leaking. The mana shield is gone, the road spikes are gone, which means that I'm just straight up going to go for a druid, and this is going to be a millipede druid, which is very nice because it's going to have the heart evoking to the druid of the jungle upgrade, so it's going to remove the regrow, which means that the 1,500 regrow rate is kind of going to get dealt with in a way. We also have a Zealy for it, but the Zealy is not as consistent because it's an ability and we cannot rely on abilities at all in this run. I wanted to watch these two rounds, 14 and 15, so this one is going to have yellows, which this is normal speed, by the way. As you guys can see at the bottom right, I don't even have fast forward on, and that was just yellow balloons. So let's see how the pink ones are going to look like. I'm going to have fast forward on for these pink balloons. No, these guys are way too fast, and it's also leaking. Yeah, that's way too many lives. We need to get this thing as soon as possible, the Druid of the Jungle. And also, I think that we should be very careful with the lives, because we just want to have some lives saved for a rainy day, right? And so let's just not be wasting our lives for nothing. Okay, so now that we've stabilized a little bit into the early game, I want to tell you guys about what the plan is for today. So we need to be one-shotting all of these guys, or at least doing a lot of damage to them if we're playing a popping game. So the Moab class balloons, if they're going to be super fast, and they probably need to get one shot. But the problem is that the usual one shots, like for example the Monkey Pirate's ability, the Buccaneer's ability, that's not going to work because we're at 500% cooldowns. And I think that for round 40 we're going to have to buy the Monkey Pirate's ability, but for the other ones we might get away with some other stuff. Okay, so let's actually do this. I think that a ninja is going to be a nice choice, at least for these early rounds, right? These early camera rounds, maybe up until 42, because it has seeking projectiles. These guys cannot miss. So the second that we get the double shot into the Caltrops, I think we're going to be fine. So let's just do that for a second. And then I also think that we need to be getting the Monkey Pirate as soon as possible. I mentioned that the abilities are not going to be good because it's at 500%. But the thing with the abilities is that if we want to use the Monkey Pirates now, on round 40, we have to buy it now because it's going to start on cooldown. I don't know how the money is going, honestly, but if we can manage to buy it on like the next round, is that too ambitious? Round 37 to buy it? I don't know, I think that's probably our last round, honestly. I think if we buy the 38, it's not going to come off on time. Okay, so the money for the monkey parts is not looking good, so I'm just going to sell one of these farms. I'm going to buy it right now. I also think I should buy the faster shooting into a double shot. This thing is not going to have any camo, but I feel like we're going to be getting a village in a second anyways. So the idea they had for the other Moab class balloons was to get a beast handler, and if you merge up the shark up to max power, it's going to just keep dragging Moab class balloons, which is very nice, because it is not an ability. So I think that that's one of the ways that we can deal with the small mobs. Maybe we get the Orca eventually, maybe we don't. But the tower that we are looking for, and the game-winning tower for this run, is absolutely going to be... Let me just buy one more marketplace, I guess. But yeah, the absolute game-winning tower for this run is going to be the Icicle Impale, which is a cheap tower. It's going to keep everything in place. It does a decent amount of damage, and I think that that is the way to go. That's the one that we need to look out for. And let's see how fast the Moab is going to be. So buying the Moab... Look at this thing. This thing is just flying through. Come on, guys. Imagine, this is just the round 40 Moabs, so imagine what's going to be happening in like the 50s with a million Moabs, and then maybe when all these BFBs and ZOMGs start coming out to like max speed or something. Yeah, it's going to get insane. Okay, so here's the plan for this one. I think I'm just going to keep buying these guys, the Millipede Druids, but instead of upgrading one to the Jungler's Bounty, I think this is the better choice, because the Jungler's Bounty ability is just not going to do anything. We're at 500% cooldowns, and honestly these other bonuses like the extra damage, I don't think we care about that stuff. The main idea is to just hold these ceramics in place, but we do need to have them on strong. So let's see if two of these guys are going to be enough, and then if they're not, we're going to do something else. But this is just round 43, so let's try and play it smart though. Instead of buying more druids, what if I get something like this, like a glue splatter glue, have it on strong. Eventually I want to get this thing to the glue hose, and I just want to slow these guys down by a little bit, just so we buy enough time. Is this the right choice? Please get it. Okay, so it looks to me that the goal is not actually to buy more druids, even though we're going to have to do it eventually, but it is to keep these guys in place and to slow them down. So the way that I want to do this is by buying a snowstorm and arctic wind ice. So we're going to start like this, And I think I'm going to get the glue as well. And so these guys just start like this. 0, 1, 2 glue. This is going to become a glue hose. This is going to become an Arctic Wind Ice. And this space here in the middle is going to be the freezing spot, basically, which is going to hopefully keep all of the ceramics in place. Well, we need to get the ice to the 3rd tier, by the way, because the freeze time is only 50%. Let me just watch. I'm kind of watching this spot, but I think that was actually because I only bought 1 druid. And I think that this is going to be fine, right? Yes, there we go. So we just needed to slow them down. That was the most important part. So I think I'm just going to get the Arctic Wind Ice. And I hope that this is going to be enough to hold these ceramics. I don't want to be buying any more druids, but someone get that one and someone get... Yes, I think we held all of them, actually. Oh, and by the way, you guys remember how we used the Monkey Pirate's ability around 40? It just came off cooldown 8 rounds later. Yep, 8 rounds later, it just came off cooldown. Yeah, these abilities are just not going to work out for this run. So 48 in a second is going to be ending, and let me do this. We're going to need 1 more druid for sure on this one. Let me make sure I have it set on strong. I have everyone set on strong so they focus down the ceramics. And I think this is the time that we get the glue hose, honestly. So let's just make sure we deal with these guys. The ninja is probably not necessary anymore. It also cannot pop frozen blue, so I'm going to sell the ninja. And I think it's time for us to sell this thing. Let's actually turn off all the star. Let's see how we do on this round. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hook the first small up around 50. There's 2 of them, so I'm gonna hook the first one and I'm gonna sell this thing and merge a beast handler in the meantime. So did we defend 49? I think it... Oh, wait a minute, I'm kind of slow with this thing. Okay, so I'll just kind of be fast with this one. We're gonna need 3 of these guys, and I really do hope that this is gonna work out somehow. Oh my god, so there is the max shark. Let's have it towards here, towards the side, and then is it going to be enough? And what's the pool cooldown on this thing, honestly? Because on some of these later rounds, yes, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Yes. So if we accidentally pop one of these mobs, it's going to pop into 4 ceramics. And these 4 ceramics are, again, max HP, full speed. So what we need is 4 druids. And that's very important. So let me get the last one. This is going to be druid number 4. We only have 3, by the way. So let me get druid number 4. This guy's not strong. And I think that now we might have a little bit of a breathing room. Yeah, so here's what I think the plan is for the BFB around 60. I think we get an Icicle Impale, and I think this is the... Do we have it? This is the perfect spot for it. I might need to sell a farm. Let me just sell one of these farms. Let me buy it. But I think the Icicle Impale is going to be the perfect tower because this thing slows these guys. And wait, actually we got the Moab Hex. Let's just use that. Was that a mistake? Hopefully not. I don't think it is, but 61 is going to have a bunch of mobs. So, yeah, this one is going to be all on the shark. And so the Icicle Impale holds them in place. The shark keys them up. And yes, there we go. Finally. Okay. So the next problem is round 63, which has a bunch of ceramics. And we only have 4 druids. So if the Icicle Impale can hold these guys in place, let me just give it a little bit of pierce. If the Icicle Impale can hold them in place, then we're probably going to be fine on that round. The druids are going to need a lot of time to deal with them. But if they have the time, it's going to be fine. So let's just watch it. Oh my god, you can't even see them. These guys are super fast. And keep in mind, I'm playing on normal speed. So what you guys are seeing is normal speed. It's not fast forwarded 3 times. Let me just 3 times it just for a second. And let's see if you can... Yep, there was a second ceramic wave. Oh my god, these guys are super fast. And that was the 3rd one. So let's see if we have enough pierce on the ice. That's the most important thing. Yeah, there we go. I think it's fine. So as long as everything is frozen in place, which it seems to be, I think that it's just going to take a while, but eventually the druids are going to go through them, right? And the ice, yes, there we go. So this is the round I was concerned about. This is the round that I wanted to buy the Icicle Impale on. The shark's animation is just kind of slow. So if we didn't have this thing stopping them, it just wouldn't have been enough. I don't think so. But because it's stopping them, yeah, this thing is one-shotting them. And finally, we have stabilized, guys. After 65 rounds, I actually feel confident about the future rounds. You guys remember how we used the Moab Hex in round 60? It's round 65 and it still hasn't come off cooldown. That's just insane. So I guess this round is all going to be onto the... Unless it comes off cooldown. If it comes, yeah, it did. I'm going to use it on this one. I'm just not even going to bother with the insides because that might cause a little bit of an issue. We've got 15 023 farms, by the way. They're not all 023. These guys are 203, which are the ones that we started with. But I wanted to get the bottom path, the marketplaces, because that's probably the better choice if you're kind of looking to get rid of them. Or kind of, you know, you want to have money at your disposal, but you also want to be making some money. And so this is the path that you want to go for. And so I kept buying 0232s instead of upgrading anything else. But listen, it seems to be working out so far. So let me get... So what's the next one? I was actually thinking of what I want to get next. And again, we don't need an ability. Maybe we can get an ability just to kind of maybe help the BMA out, which is the next tower that we want to get. So I'm just going to have the BMA like this, which is, again, not on a cooldown. so it just evaporates balloons. And the BMA's golden potion is also affected by an overclock, so we need to get an overclock, but at the same time the overclock is an ability. So I don't know, do we get like 2 overclocks or 3 overclocks with this thing? Let's watch 77. 77 is gonna evaporate, isn't it? Let me just see. Oh my god, that was a lot of BFBs that got eaten up at once. And then this is gonna be the time in which things are gonna start to get a little bit more interesting, I feel like, which is gonna be free play. So even though we have a couple of one-shots, we need to be getting more, because this is probably not gonna work out. So we're gonna need some help with these guys. If we just let this setup, is probably, actually, I don't think it's going to win. So I do want to be getting, oh, this isn't, actually, it wasn't in range of the camo village, so let me just buy it like this. Oh, I might have messed things up, actually. I wanted to save this space for something else, which is a millipede village. Do we need these farms? I don't think we need all of them, so let me just buy some stuff now that we need. So we're gonna need an overclock NG, so let's buy, no, we're not gonna need one, we're gonna need 2 of these guys, actually. So let me buy 2 overclocks, just in case. And then I think we also want to be saving some cash for Azili's level 20, because we're playing on medium mode, and the last time we did something similar to this, we played on impoppable. So the difference is that when you're playing on different game modes, heroes level up differently. So remember on that specific run, she got level 20 on round 100. And so, but that was impoppable. So that means that if we're playing on medium mode, then she's probably not gonna get around 20 like at all. Let me overclock this thing. So yeah, so this is exactly what I was talking about. These guys are just not handling things that well unless you help them out a little bit. So yeah, this is why I want to have an overclock. And then the question is, let me just see this overclock. Oh my god, look at this thing. I just used it, by the way. Do we get an Energizer sub? Like, it's not that much of a decrease of the cooldowns, but I feel like it's probably gonna be necessary, right? Let's just buy it. It's on 87. And I feel like I'm missing something. I wanted to buy something and I feel like I'm missing, but what was it? So we're gonna have DDTs in a second. Yes, I know exactly what it was. Yes. Okay, so let's just sell a couple of these farms. Also, we're probably not gonna need... Oh, did I mess up by selling the druids? We're gonna have one more round with a bunch of ceramics. And actually 95 with small balloons. Okay, I might have messed up, so I only sold one of them, but let's just chill for a second. We need to get the MIB basically, because this thing, unless you get the top hat, it cannot hit DDT. So it's gonna need an MIB village. That's the last thing that we need. And let's just watch these guys. So the trap is here. We have the trap, we have the BMA, and we have overclocks, which hopefully, I gave them a little bit of cooldown reduction, but it's still at 500%. And hopefully this is going to be enough to beat the 90s. And we managed to keep 3 farms, so that's very nice. So we can buy Azili's level 20 eventually. But let's see how we do versus these DDTs. Oh my god, these guys are super fast. Yeah, they're just flying through. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Okay, so 91 is one of those rounds that I was kind of worried about, these small balloons. So we do still have this setup at the back, which is the ice and the glue slowing these guys down. And let me use the overclock just so we get the golden potion out as fast as possible. More DTs incoming, by the way. 93. Let's see how fast these guys are. Do we need to get something else for 95? Maybe like a Sabo? These guys are super fast. Let's get a Sabo for 95. Let's buy it now. I know it's 93, but let's buy it now, and hopefully the cooldown is going to come off. Oh my god, this thing is just insane. Okay, so I don't want to use this overclock because this one is not coming off, and maybe if I use it for this round, yeah, I think we chill on this one. I think that we're just gonna have to let these guys do their thing, because I do want to save the overclock for 95. Let's see how we do in 95. So let me use this thing now. Let me overclock the BMA. Did I get the tower? Yes, I did. And these DDTs, they need to get stopped as soon as possible. So I'm gonna need the traps going off. The trap is helping. The Orca cannot, actually the Orca cannot hook, cannot pull DDTs. And it's because it's set on strong. No, we're leaking. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, so a little bit of an issue in this round, it seems like. The Orca cannot pull DDTs, and these guys, even though we have an overclocked BMA and we have the trap, but we have the Icicle Impale, it's still not enough. So we need to stun these guys, and here's what I was thinking. I think I'm gonna switch the Orca to first, because if it's set on strong, it just tries to pop the DDTs, but if it's on first, it's gonna pull a Moab, and that might help with the pierce of the Icicle Impale. That's one thing. Another thing is that I'm probably going to have to get rid of maybe this druid, because I did want to make this Icicle Impale a little bit stronger, make it attack a little bit faster, maybe do a little bit more damage. That's the second thing. And the third one is that I'm probably just gonna do this, and I'm going to have something like this, and maybe even do I buy a second one, maybe like a 4-0, and we'll keep this guy on first. So one of them is on strong, one of them is on first. And so as soon as these guys come out, let's see if this is gonna make any difference. So overclock this guy, use this thing, the Sabo, as soon as possible. And this guy is, yes, he is getting buffed by the Alchemist. He's getting a lot more attack speed, and the Orca is actually pulling Mods, which is exactly what I wanted to have happen. How is the Overclock going? It's still going on it. Let's see if this is gonna make any difference. I feel like the snipers are actually making some difference, especially the shrapnel one, because it has an AoE stun. And this thing is, oh my god, they're starting to pop. That's way too much damage. Is that gonna be enough? How's the Overclock doing? I don't want to use the other one. I don't want to use it. I think I'm just gonna hold it and hope for the best. I think it's just normal is getting frozen, right? Is that it? Just these guys here in the middle? Okay, there we go. Finally, 95 is done. Very good. So we still have an overclock going. Let me just check the cooldown on the other one. The other one's like half. And we also need to not use Ezeli's Moab Hex, because if you guys remember that time when we used it at like 60 and it came off cooldown at 65, so if we use it now, it's probably not even gonna come off cooldown for the bat around 100. So I'm actually not gonna touch the Moab Hex. I'm gonna set Ezeli to probably first. What is happening? How are we doing on this round? Oh my god, I farmed so much and these guys still seem to be struggling a little bit. What is happening? Oh no, these guys are they popping or what's happening? I think the Pierce is just getting overloaded, right? We leaked something. We have 400 lives, thankfully. Oh my god, what? There's gonna be another leak and a bunch more leaks. No, this is probably gonna be the end of us. Unless, I think I saw a trap getting dropped. Unless, 22 lives? No way, what is happening? It pulled it. It pulled it last second. Is that the last one? Yes, it is. 22 lives from 490, I think we have something like that. Oh my god, that's just insane. Okay, let me check his use level. It's level 18. It seems like these most, the hardest and the most dense rounds are towards the end. So let's see how we do on this one. So we can pull these guys one by one. But I feel like because we're damaging them, because we're popping them, that's actually creating all the issue. We don't even have the Sabo, guys. It's around 95 that we used it on. It's going to be 99. We don't have it. That's just insane. But we do have an overclock for the BMA. And I think that this is going to be it for 99. Okay, so this is the... we need to buy a Ezeli. Let's buy it right now. So we have the Boy Heist around 100, but we need to deal with this one. So let me overclock this guy. How's it looking? I mean, if they get frozen in place, which they don't seem to be getting, some of them are slowly leaking, but if they get kept in place, we're going to be fine on this one. So let's just hope that this thing works out. We got the Sabo. Let me use it right now. I think this is going to be fine. This is going to be the last DDT, and it's just Moab, so just please take care of the Moab slowly. We have a trap. I'm collecting the trap. No, something's going to leak. The Druid! Look at this thing. It's keeping it. I think that's it. Oh my... No, hold it. I genuinely cannot believe what is happening on this run, especially on these last few rounds. This is insane. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get one more shark merged up. So let me merge. Oh, that's not how you merge. Let's merge, I guess, this one. Just not mess it up. Let's just get this one. And now this shark, I wanted to just one-shot Moabs to help a little bit, because the problem that we seem to be having is a problem with the Pierce. I also should not forget to buy Ezeli's $5,000. That's all we have left, guys. We farmed so much, and it's $5,000. Let me just get the BMA overclock going. We can use both of them, by the way, because it doesn't matter. And honestly, I'm going to use the Sacrificial Totem. So let's use that. Let's get the Saba going, and hopefully this is going to be enough. I feel like it is this time, because we have the Shark just pulling Moabs, I feel like. Or is it? I hope it is. Yeah, there we go. The new Shark that we just bought, is that going to be enough? This time is so much better than last time. It's insane. You just make some small changes. And that's all it takes. But there we go. Round 100. This is just one button. This is the easiest one out of all of them. But man, these last few rounds were just something else. And that's going to be it. The Moab Hex is going to take down the bat. It's not going to release anything. Is it going to take out? Yes, there we go. I was starting to get worried for a second. There we go. BMA at 21 million and the Orca... It's at 4. I think it's respectable, because the only thing that this was popping was like Moabs and BFBs, because it can't pop anything else. It's 1 million on the ice, and Ezeli should have... Yeah, she has like 1.9. It's almost 2 million. But a lot of that was the last Moab, which has like the bat around 100, which I think it has like 600,000 HP or something like that. But everything else was just, yeah, it was just taken care of. Oh, and this guy, the Tramp, with 3 million pops. This was a very fun run, and this was an amazing, amazing thing that I did. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because this was a very fun run, and I enjoyed it a lot. So that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys for watching it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Can we one-shot every single balloon that comes out? And I think that there actually might be a way for us to do that. So what I mean by that is, and let me just place this dog monkey first, so let me show you guys. These balloons are going to come out, they're just red balloons. So you need 1 damage to pop them. But what happens when these guys become stronger? So for example, when blue balloons are coming out, if you do 1 damage to them, they're going to turn into red balloons, and then they're going to pop. And that's exactly the thing that we're trying to avoid. And I actually think that it is very much possible to do. So let me just start off by buying Ben. I'm just gonna have Ben over here, and then as soon as these blue balloons start coming out, this Dark Monkey is not gonna be that much useful. But you know what, we can actually buy a tower that does 2 layers of damage, which is, oh, actually maybe I should have kept the double. Let me actually just buy the sniper, because the sniper does 2 layers of damage. So now he's one-shotting these blue balloons, and you guys get the point. When we get the moss, when we get to the ZOMGs, the whatever it is, we can one-shot all of these balloons. And then when we get to round 100, then you know what's going to be happening. It's going to have to be the Buccaneer Paragon. So that's why I brought Ben. We kind of need to farm a little bit. I don't think there are any green balloons around 5, so I think that maybe we can get away with the even faster farming now, right? Actually, don't want to risk this thing. I think I'm just going to go for the full metal jacket. I don't want to risk it. Okay, so it's round 10. On the next round, we're going to have a bunch of yellow balloons appear. So we have to go for this thing. But at the same time, I really don't want to be buying it. But we have to do it, guys. So let's do it like this. But now this is going to keep us... I think this is going to keep one-shotting things at least until like the mid-20s or something. When do we get... So it one-shot zebras. And then what's after the zebras, I guess, are rainbows. But the rainbows are in the 30s. And round 15, we should be able to one-shot every single one of these guys. So yeah, the pinks got taken care of, then the yellows, and these guys. Yeah, that's perfect. We didn't lose that many lives, man. This thing is actually kind of working. Am I jinxing it? I don't want to jinx it. We're gonna have a huge wave of greens now, and we need the semi-auto as soon as possible. But we also need to get the farming going. So that's a lot of leaks. Oh my god, I'm really looking just to get the semi-auto as soon as possible. I know that I'm a little bit behind on farming, but we have to do it like this. So let's get the semi-auto now, and this should give us a little bit of a breathing room until at least a few more rounds. Okay, so the semi-auto is actually struggling on this one because it's doing enough damage, but it's a lot of balloons, and it just doesn't deal with AoE. So maybe, oh my god, switch it to first. That's a lot of balloons. Okay, so let's have the village like this, and then get the discount going. It's round 33. We need to start thinking about these camo balloons. And how do we... I think we just have to give him camo detection, right? I mean, there's no other way around it. We can reveal them, but then again, maybe the reveal tower is going to do some damage. So, yeah, I think this is the best way. We're going to have the money, though. That's my question. Wait a minute. How many lives is this? I really hope we can leak all of these guys. It's going to be close. 24, 20. Yeah, we got it. It's... Well, we got down to 12 lives, but it's 17 now. But we have to give this guy a bit. Basically, have to give him a village before round 36. Oh, it's the next one. Oh my god, wait a minute. Okay, so it's the next round, which is going to have these rainbows. So I think what I have to do is I have to use Ben's ability so that this thing gets +1 damage and we one-shot them. Okay, that's going to be delicate. So let's keep this thing on first. And then the rainbows are going to... Yeah, there we go. So here come the rainbows. Okay, so when that thing happens, I have to use Ben's ability. Okay, so let's restart this one. Okay, so I know exactly what we're supposed to do. When this guy stops attacking, that is when we use Ben's ability. Now, and then I use the ability. It's gonna one-shot these rainbows that are coming out. Hopefully all of them. Yes, I think I got all of them. Yes, that's very good, very good, very good. Okay, so we got rid of the rainbows. That's nice. But this guy still needs a little bit more attack speed, and we still need to get the farming going. So how is everything looking? So this thing is Sinkspool. That's good to know. So let's collect. Let me do this. I'm gonna sell. I think we're making money, right? We're netting money. Oh my god, I need to give this camo. Is the full auto gonna survive this? Oh my god, that was ridiculously close. That was ridiculously close, but we still got it. Okay, very good, very good. So let's get the Monkey Town. Let's sell this thing. Oh my god, I don't even know what's happening. 4,000. Oh my god, that's like... I'm at like $500 away from the Monkey-Opolis. So we're gonna give this thing on this round. So that's very good. And then we need to give the sniper +1 damage for round 39, because that one's gonna have... We can do that through an alchemist. So let me get the Monkey-Opolis now, finally. Okay, so round 38 has ceramics at the end, and we need to take note of when this guy stops attacking for a second. It's gonna be at like 9,000 something pops. Let me just watch the numbers so that we can time this thing. We need to sell it before the ceramics comes. So it's 9.2, 924, 925, and okay, so 925 is about the time which the ceramics come out. So when we hit that amount of pops, we have to sell the sniper and then buy a top at one, basically, which is gonna one-shot the ceramics coming out. Wow, that's... Oh my god, we haven't even started this thing. 2.25, something like that. Yeah, like now, just to be safe, and then do a deadly precision, which is gonna one-shot them, right? I mean, I think I kind of saw a little bit of damage happening. I think it's because it got a shot off with a large caliber and then it one-shot it, but you know what? I'm going to take it because we did the thing that we were supposed to do. How are we getting some farming going, though? We're going to have a Moab on the next round. And oh, actually, you know what? I was going to buy a Monkey Pirates, but we don't have to do that because Ben is going to release the Trojan And then yeah, and then the Trojan is gonna make the Moab basically not spawn anything. So that's very good. So look at that thing. Yes, there we go. That's a one-shot as well. Okay, very good. The idea is that I buy a bunch of Deadly Precisions, which are basically able to one-shot every balloon except Moab. So I think that if we get enough of these guys, then we're going to be fine. But we also need to think about farming. So I'm just going to keep buying 032 marketplaces. So we actually have to start thinking about the ways to one-shot them all. Well, the ways to one-shot Moabs are kind of known. It's just, you can do it through, I was thinking of doing it just through Buccaneers and stuff. But I do need to have these Buccaneers like far away if I'm having them like this. So maybe I'm gonna save these spots for like the favorite traits and stuff like that. So maybe I just want to have them like this. Honestly, just the Monkey Prize goes like this. Is that it? Like what's happening? Are these guys gonna be able to pop these guys? Actually, that's a lot of green blues that I see. Oh my god, that's a lot of green blues. These guys are not gonna be able to deal with the greens, aren't they? No, okay, so they're not dealing with the green blues, so let's get back out actually. Okay, so here's what I want to do with this one. This one has a bunch of green balloons, and so the way to pop a green balloon is just by getting, just like doing this, just getting a full metal jacket. So I really hope the green, yeah, okay, so that's fine. So basically I'm just looking for a little bit of extra damage versus these green balloons, and then I think I'm just gonna have these snipers on strong so they focus down the ceramics, and then these guys take care of the green balloons, so that should be fine, I think. And then when we're done, I'm just gonna sell these small ones because they're just gonna do more harm, I think. Sell all of these guys. And now we're gonna have a Moab up here in a second, but I do want to hook it because it's one shot. And let's watch. And I'm just spamming the button honestly because these guys do so much damage that they might just instantly pop a Moab, and we just are not gonna see it. And so here's what we can do. We can just get like a plutonium reactor here to get these guys' cooldowns a little bit lower. And then let me buy one more over here, and then the most important thing is just going to get it's just getting the Energizer sub, right? So after we get the Energizer sub, these cooldowns are going to become so short that I think we're just going to be able to spam them off cooldown. But until we get there, oh, and by the way, okay, so thankfully it's only Zebras, and the way that we can deal with Zebras is just by buying like a 203, and that should be more than enough, but we still need to keep using the ability. So I think that it's just like a 203 and a bunch of boats. If we spam the ability, we should be fine. And I'm doing exactly that, so let's spam the ability. And okay, so huge waves incoming on round 63 of ceramic balloons, and here's how I want to do it. The dinosaur should be able to one-shot these guys, so I'm just gonna chill for a second, and I'm gonna let it like I'm gonna sell this guy actually. And let's see if just a 16 out of 64 T-Rex is going to be able to one-shot these guys. And if he is, then yeah, he is. That's fine. That's amazing. So, yep, it's absolutely clapping them. And you know what? We might even keep this guy, right? Do we keep it or do we sell it? I think we sell it, actually. I think we're doing fine. There's going to be one more round of these guys, and then we're going to sell it so that we invest the money. Yeah, there we go. That's how you one-shot these guys. We have 10 abilities, by the way. Let's boom, 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 and that's the last of them. So I hope that everything comes off cooldown. I really need to keep some money going into these farms, honestly. There we go. Look at this thing. We're one-shotting everything. Now, I did think about how we're going to one-shot. Oh, look at this thing, by the way. There we go. Everything is gone in a second. I love that. So one of them gets Trojan. That's very good because it still doesn't release anything. That one's Trojan, so I'm going to hook this one. And then that one's Trojan, so let it pop, and then hook these guys, and then hopefully no more come out. Hopefully. Okay, that one's, oh my god, I hooked the Trojan one. I shouldn't have done that. So that one got Trojan. This one I can hook, this one, and this one I can hook, so that's very good. One of them is gonna get Trojan, so let's not hook that one. Let's let it pop, and then I'm gonna, that one's gonna get Trojan again. Okay, so that's very good. Maybe this one's gonna get Trojan as well. Okay, let's not risk it. Let me just hook it. Let's not risk it. Okay, so round 70 has my arch nemesis, which are rainbow balloons. So let me upgrade this one to a merchantman, and let me just start buying up these 302 snipers. Okay, so the problem with them is just the fact that there's just way too many of them, right? It's not that we're not popping them, it just, these guys attack way too slow and they just get overwhelmed. I might need to restart this one depending on when they stop coming out. Again, the damage is not a problem, it's how fast the damage is getting out. And I think, no, we're starting to attack, so we're gonna need more actually. Okay, so I got 5, and 5 should be a little bit better than last time, I hope. I mean, it's not just rainbows, but it's beneath them we have camo regrow white balloons. And it's just a mess for these guys. I know, it must be hard one-shot. Having to one-shot, having to deal with balloons like this. Let me just hook these guys up, and that's fine. I don't know how this didn't occur to me earlier, but we can use Ben's Siphon ability to reduce Moabs into ceramics. And that meant that we could have saved a lot of these hooks early on. So I'm going to do that right now. So this one is gonna get Trojan, and then look at that. Those guys got turned into ceramics. That's exactly fine because we have no problem with that. We're still one-shotting them technically. Let's see if the dinosaur is still gonna be enough again for round 76. I'm gonna try and move it like this. So let's see. Let's move it up. Oh my god, yes, 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 very good, very good. Okay, so we're still in it, guys, still in it. 9 buffs. Let's get one more. This is gonna be 10th. This is gonna be the last one, and then it's just gonna be hooking up these balloons. We got the Energizer. What am I missing? I was, you know, I wanted to get the BMA, but the problem with the BMA is that it's not exactly there, right? I mean, it does a lot and it one-shots, but it doesn't exactly one-shot. It leaves them to red balloons. That's not what we're looking for. We're just looking for a straight-up insta-kill. But do you know what's an insta-kill? This thing, the NG trap. So I'm kind of thinking, if I give it the range, is this gonna reach... Is it gonna reach the track? Yes, it does. Okay, so that's very important. So then I kind of didn't want the... Oh my god, that's so cool, actually. So you don't want this tower to attack because the tower itself can do damage, so we don't want that, but you also want to have the trap on the track, and this is so perfect actually. It's barely there. That's very good. You know what, as we're entering these rounds, I think that we need to actually get rid of these guys because they no longer one-shot ceramics, I don't think, because these are ramped up ceramics. Round 83 has a bunch of ceramics, a bunch of small balloons, and if this trap doesn't hold, then you know what, I think we're gonna have some small traps throughout this. I guess I should probably just do this, right? Because there's no other way to one-shot these ceramics if there's a little bit of downtime on the balloon trap. I mean, we can kind of be diligent with it, and we can kind of think about, you know, just resetting the trap. Oh, let's just, by the way, do this. Yes, exactly. Look at this thing. Let's just keep hooking these mobs, by the way. And then I'm going to use the ability, and that's it. That's exactly it. So we're going to need a bunch of balloon traps laid out like this so that we can catch these ceramics. And I'm not exactly worried about these ceramics popping because these NGs are super weak. So they're not going to do exactly that much damage to them. Oh my god, this is way too many of these guys. I mean, thankfully we don't have damage there, so I'm not concerned about popping them exactly, but come on, dude. Yes, we hooked everything. Yes, this is very good. We still have the hooks incoming, so let's do it like that, and we're gonna need some more hooks. This is just way too many small balloons incoming, guys. Way too many of them. I should also probably start thinking about slowing or stunning them, honestly. Yes, look at this trap go. So I think that we should help out the trap, actually. I think that I should probably be doing something like this, like the Moab glue. The relentless is not gonna work because nothing is popping. So just have the Moab glue like this, and then what else stuns or slows but doesn't do damage? I mean, it's probably gonna be like this thing over right? The Sabo, but we're not buying the other Sabo, we're buying the small Sabo, just the small one. And then maybe the super glue does a little bit of damage. So yeah, but this is the round that I was concerned about. This is exactly the round why I bought all these NGs, this and 95, because until this trap gets redeployed, yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of these ceramics just enter here, and they're not gonna get popped by all attacks because they just have way too much HP. And let me look at those hooks go. Oh my god. And that should be fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I mean, there's going to be one more round with a bunch of small balloons, and that's going to be around 95, and after that we can just get rid of all of these hedges at the top. We're going to get a lot of cash back for them as well, and I think I should be using the Sabo. Let me buy one more so we can have 100% uptime on the Sabos, and I just keep hooking all of these guys. Oh my god, what a run this has turned into. That's very fun, actually. One of the most fun things that I've done in a while in BTD6. I just slow these guys down. It's a bunch of ZOMGs, so I can hook one of them, and there we go. So we're going to have DDTs on this next one, but we can hook all of them, unless they bump into the trap. So let's do it like this, and bang, that's the entire round, I think. So let's slow them down with the Sabo. Let me use the, let me just start hooking out these ZOMGs slowly, and then just use these small abilities, and there we go. That's just so cool. That's just so funny. This is just so funny, guys. Come on. And then, oh, no, we're actually popping them. Nope. Okay, so we do have a little bit of a problem with the purples on 95 because they do get decamoed by this sub, and then the trap is not deployed. So that means that they're going to get auto-attacked by these guys. So the way that we're going to deal with the purples, if it's only purples, I mean, this should be able to deal with everything, right? A 205, and then we're relying on this guy's camo. I think that should be fine. Yeah, there we go, exactly like that. And then they get decamoed. Some of them walk into the trap, some of them get the one shot by the sniper. And then when the DDTs, and when basically all of these guys stop coming out, then it's just gonna be DDTs. So let me use the Sabo actually, because we do have one ready. And I'm ready with the hooks, 26 hooks. I mean, let's just get it going. As soon as these DDTs start coming out, let's just go. Let's do one more Sabo because the other one expired. Let me just keep using these hooks, and then, oh my god, I used everything and the round is not even over. Let me sell this thing actually because it does a lot of damage. And are we fine? I mean, I'm gonna need some hooks. These guys are not taking damage, right? Let me hook these guys. I need 2 more hooks. Oh my god, please 2 more hooks. Please, 1, 2. Yes, there we go. We pulled them. And then 1, 2, 3. How many mobs are in there? There we go. There we go. Wow, that was like a million blues just hanging around. Oh my god, let's just keep hooking these guys. Use the Sabo so we get some time back. And then using the Sabo plus this trap is very important, it seems like, because it buys a lot of time for the trap to get renewed. But nothing is doing damage, right? We're just one-shotting everything, just to be clear, right? A couple of mobs started to escape, so that's kind of the problem with these guys, is that if you have a hook ready, the hook is going to target the strongest balloons. So these guys at the top, I should probably be selling these NGs because they do a little bit of damage and they're kind of annoying, but we no longer need them actually because there are no more small balloons. So I should probably sell all of them. And then am I keeping everything else? I think we should get rid of the farms, honestly, because we no longer need them. I kept the trade empire for some reason. Okay, here we go, round 98. That's about it, guys. That's about it. So let me use the Sabo. Let me just start clicking these abilities as soon as these guys are coming out. We're gonna have a bunch of ZOMGs, and the hope is for these ZOMGs to just get eaten up by either the Pirate Lord or the trap. So everything else, every small blue needs to get going basically. And I'm gonna sell these guys because they're starting to do some damage. Let me get the Sabo going. I'm gonna sell this one as well just to be safe. But I think that we hooked at least one balloon with them, right? I hope we did. But this is going to be the last one. And that's round 98. That was super simple as that. So one more Sabo because there's no Sabo going. And as soon as these DDTs start coming out, and then I am going to turn all the start off because we need to buy a Buccaneer Paragon for the next one for round 100. So let me keep using these abilities. Oh my god, that's like a million BFBs, a million Moabs and DDTs incoming. And now I remember why I had the Trade Empire, because of the Buccaneer Paragon. But I do want to get a small degree of the Buccaneer Paragon actually. So do these pops count? Like if I sell these guys, are their pops still gonna count towards the Paragon? Because I'm afraid that I'm a little bit afraid that before the ability cooldown gets up, that I'm actually going to pop it by just by the auto attacks and with the planes. So let's hope that that doesn't happen. I'm not gonna put any money into this thing. Yeah, they don't count. So it was degree 1, and the cooldown it's kind of a fast cooldown. So let me just spam it, and there we go. That's the bat, and that is it. That is the entirety of BTD6, of 100 rounds of BTD6 with balloon just getting one shot. That's something I've never done before, and it's a little bit insane when you think about it, to just not let any balloons spawn anything. But it is possible, and we did it, and that was a really fun video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you on the next one. 5,000% Moab health. Now, Ninja Kiwi did go a little bit overboard with this, I'm gonna be honest, and we're playing the Odyssey, which we don't usually play, but come on guys, I was never gonna pass up on the opportunity to play something like this. So for this entire Odyssey, we're playing, I guess, 5,000% Moabs, which goes for obviously all of the Moab class balloons, and it's actually really annoying for a lot of reasons. So first off, you maybe thought, you know, I'm gonna one-shot all of these Moab class balloons, I'm gonna be cheesy about it. Well, no, in Ninja Kiwi banned the Monkey Pirates and the Pirate Lord. They gave us the NG, but they banned all these traps. They gave us the Alchemist, but they banned the Blue Master Alchemist, and you guys can see where I'm going with this. And then you may be like, well, I'm gonna stall these Moab class balloons. I'm gonna buy something like a Moab Shove Heli, for example. I don't have the Helis, but it's banned. They banned the Boomerang bottom pad, the Moab Press. They even banned like this entire bottom pad of the Mermonkey, so you cannot even like spin them around in circles. So that's how far they went into this Odyssey, and they want you to pop the Moab class balloons in a very specific way, it looks like. Now, on top of this, you might be like, well, I'm gonna farm a lot. I'm just gonna place a bunch of farms and I'm just gonna make a lot of money, and that's how I'm gonna win. Well, not exactly, because there's an 8 farm limit in total. So yeah, this is a very, very annoying and a very devious Odyssey. And I saved the last island for you guys because we are going to be playing in free play actually in this island specifically. We have not seen free play rounds in any of the previous ones, and we're gonna see rounds 81 to 100, which, yes, that means that we're gonna have a 5,000% health bad balloon or round 100. And you know what, I'm not even scared about the bad balloon. You know what I'm scared of? Like these DDTs are 95 and 99, because imagine those little monsters being like super fast and just having a lot of HP in general being annoying, and then we have to deal with 5,000% after those guys. Yeah, it's gonna get annoying. And this has been my go-to combo for this entire Odyssey, so I chose Adora, which I kind of need a hero, right, to clean up these early rounds. We don't exactly need cleanup versus big balloons, because obviously there's gonna be another tower that has to do that. Probably should have done this a lot earlier actually. Now that I think about this, how many villages do I have? I don't remember, so I'm just gonna click the button and hopefully it's gonna be a handful of them. Yeah, it's gonna be, that's all the villages. But let me get the Monkey Town, the Monkey City, the Monkeyopolis, eventually sell both of these extra discount villages that we bought, and then let's just go into 023 farms for now. Then we're gonna see what we do. We might actually get a couple of these guys as 023s, and then I guess we can get one of these guys as a 420. How many engines did I bring? I only brought 3. We do have the overclock, so yeah, we're probably gonna have to be hooking up some of these guys to the overclocks as well, just for the extra efficiency actually. And actually, having played this Odyssey for 4 islands, I really like it for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is that, well, this is like super unique and super fun to play, but also I think it's gonna be really fun for you guys to watch because there's constantly something happening starting from round 40. Like starting from 40, there's gonna be a Moab class balloon. Well, I guess the 40s in general are gonna be just us farming and getting our farming together, but after that, it's gonna be a Moab class balloon on almost every single round. That was gonna make it so fun. But for the Moab around 40, something that I found that works is just like getting a spike storm. So 140 spike storm in the range of a discount village. Obviously, let's use the ability. I got an alchemist, and then let's see how much damage this thing is gonna do. Look at the pops, by the way, 6 down. That's insane. But we also dropped a lot of spikes here, and this is why I brought the alchemist as well. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, that's all you need for the first Moab. And actually, I'm gonna be as efficient as possible. So I'm going to sell both of the spikes and the alchemist, and I'm gonna buy a 420 onto. Oh wait a minute. Well, you need to bring your own powers for the Odysseys. All right, so I guess it's only gonna be 2 engines for this one. Okay, so let's get the overclock, and then let's get one of the 2 tech bots that we had. So let's hook this guy up to the 420 farm. And actually, before we go into the 50s and before we have to start buying up our defenses, let's try and greet out as many 420 farms as possible. By the way, we're playing on a hard mode, which is something that we don't usually see. So for example, these boss events, right, they're usually on normal, so the prices are a lot cheaper. And if you're surprised, like the first time that I played this, I was like, wait a minute, since when does the BRF cost $20,000, $20,520? And I remember, oh my god, we're playing on, like, this is hard mode, and I'm just not used to playing on it as much. Well, I guess we do play chimps mode, but not in like these farming type of events like we have this one, right? And then one of the solutions that I actually found for the 50s, the entirety of the 50s, is just gonna be 2 spike storms. So yeah, surprisingly, on previous islands, that is, I'm not sure if it's gonna work on this one because this one is a little bit shorter than everything else. So let me just try and fit it in the range. There we go. But let me get the second spike storm, and let me get an alchemist, which is, yeah, this alchemist is not gonna be in range, so I'm just gonna get something like it's gonna be a 301 actually, which you don't see that much, but it's not like we're buffing, you know, the hottest of towers ever. So let's use one of the spike storm. This is gonna buff. Look at it, this is insane, guys. When does it ever happen for you to use a spike storm ability and the mob is like not even budging, it's not even popping? It has to go like through a million spikes and then it pops. That's insane. Let's use the second ability, get it off cooldown a little bit faster, and actually, because we're gonna have some camo balloons, actually it's gonna be camo ceramics, let me just give a village to these guys, because why not? Actually, one of the more tricky rounds is going to be 53, and in combination with 52, because there are going to be 3 Moabs onto 53, and we only have 2 abilities. So let's see how we do versus this one. Can I get both of these Moabs with 1 ability? I'm not exactly sure. Let me pop the small balloons, so let's see how we do. So here's the problem. Like, this first Moab goes ahead, and then it breaks all of the spikes, right? And then there are no spikes left for this guy to bump into. Let's actually see if these spikes that these guys planted are going to be enough to pop it, because if they are, yes, this is very good. That's very nice. Okay, so look at what happened now. We saved one of the abilities. So there are going to be 3 Moabs onto this one. So I'm going to use one of the abilities now. Actually, let's make sure we're farming as well. Can I? Oh, wait a minute. I'm not finding the spot of the farm. Oh, I placed them so super tightly, it looks like. I found it for a second, but I can also see the Moab is incoming. There we go. Let's use the ability again. That's Moab number 2. And then Moab number 3 should pop here when it reaches the spikes. There we go. That's very good. All right. I mean, 5k Moabs, guys, and spike storms are still the answer, it looks like. Let's see how we do versus this one. The ability is barely coming out. I'm going to need this thing to pop. And is it gonna pop all the leftovers? No, it's not. We're gonna lose to that. Actually, one of the things that I'm not sure Ninja Kiwi overlooked, but it's something that I guess I should have placed a little bit earlier, but it's a tower that you can still slow Moab class balloons in this game, and that is by using this guy, the Abyssal Warrior, because they did let it through out of all towers, and it does slow the Moab class balloons by a little bit. It works on Moabs and BFBs, so hopefully this is gonna be just enough slow so that we can get the abilities up. So that's gonna be ability number 1. Let me just use it as fast as possible. Let's see how we're gonna do. So Moab number 1 is gonna pop for sure, and then Moab number 2, I don't know, like there's some leftover spikes here, and then we're gonna have the second ability in a second. We're not gonna need it immediately for 55, so that's really good, and there we go, we get it done. All right, that's amazing. All right, so 57 is gonna be a super annoying round, and I hope that we can take care of this one with 2 abilities, but I'm not exactly sure because one of them is on cooldown. So it's gonna be 2x2 Moabs. These guys are really tight next to each other, and so look at this thing. The first Moab absorbs all the spikes, and then the second one barely gets damaged. So yeah, this is gonna get problematic, and even with the Abyssal Warrior slow. Like I don't think that this is working. Like I'm watching the first duo and like, oh my god, the second mob is not even getting popped. Okay, so let's try and fix this. How do we fix this? I think here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the ability. Which one of these guys? So this one is in range of the village. Maybe later on I'm gonna make this thing a Jungle Jones village. But here's what I want to do. Let me just sell this and this. And how far off are we from a carpet of spikes? We should have the money. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, so is this gonna be enough now? I have to sell the alchemist, by the way, to get this thing going. So I'm just gonna rebuy the alchemist like this, hopefully in the range of the discount village. There we go. This is gonna be just like 320 alchemist, and hopefully with the passive spike storm abilities and the fact that these spikes that this guy throws, he throws them super fast, but they're also a lot more powerful than the previous ones. So hopefully this is gonna give us enough breathing room to get the farming going, because we only have like a Minneapolis and 5 BRS, which is not good. Round 60, the first ever BFB, and this thing has 700 HP times 5,000%, 35,000 HP on a BFB. Let me use the passive ability and let's see how we're gonna do. So yeah, these spikes are definitely a lot stronger and also a lot more reliable, because at every point in time there are gonna be spikes on the track, and it just makes dealing with this entire this monstrosity of an Odyssey a lot better. Let me use the active ability for these guys. I'm just collecting all of these crates, and actually I'm just thinking how I want to play this, because I do want to get a full Monkeyopolis eventually. With all these farm sacrifice, so maybe we should get to doing that as fast as possible so we can go for the banana essential. Yeah, so let's sell the Minneapolis that we had. Let me just buy a Monkeyopolis, and now let's go into an overclock banana essential, which I guess we should have done a little bit earlier, but that's completely fine because we're not in any rush. So far so good with the farming and everything. Let's actually use the active ability as well, and that is probably gonna be, is it gonna be it actually? That was a nice passive ability, but I see 3 full mobs, so if they get past this thing, it's still getting close, guys. Like, this is what's very annoying about this one, because it's only around 65. Alright, so let me just buy these big farms. So let me get the Wall Street. Hopefully the Wall Street gets all 4 of these guys in range, and then we have 3 farms left. So I guess if we want to have the Wall Street collect from all of them. By the way, what's happening with all those mobs? Let me use the, oh, I already used the active ability. Wait, what? Is this gonna be fine? I'm gonna need the passive ability like right now, and then I'm going to use the Doors level 10 ability. That's the passive ability. I'm going to use the active one. Oh my god, that's ridiculously close. These guys are not popping, are they? How do we fix this? I don't want to spend a lot of money because I want to complete the farming, but at the same time, we need a fix. And for this one, and for actually up until free play as well. So here's what I was thinking. Maybe if I can fit like a, oh, look at this spot. That's perfect. Maybe if we can get like a Moab Eliminator, like this is 4,500 damage per ability. So hopefully this is going to be enough. By the way, the Moab Eliminator needs 2 abilities to pop 1 small Moab. That is absolutely insane. The way that this thing works, but I think that this is gonna be a lot better than last time, because that's just a lot of extra damage that we got. So we're gonna get a passive ability in a second, and then one of these guys is gonna pop, and then look at this thing, bam, with the Moab Eliminator ability. There we go. Let's see if we actually bother ourselves a little bit of time with the Moab Eliminator, because round 75, this is like a super annoying one, lots of RB on it, and I'm just keeping, you know, this ability going. This is not looking good. Like, look at what's happening up top. We have like these small mobs make it all the way through, and these are 3x3 BFBs, which I guess that's the first one that popped, but it's really not looking good for the other ones as well. Yeah, probably gonna need to do something about this one. Let's just play it out. Let's see what happens. So I'm just gonna keep spamming these abilities, and I think this is gonna be about it. Yeah, so these mobs are about to leak, so that means that we have to buy something for 75. All right, so I have a solution for this actually, and I didn't want to do it because it might set our economy back a little bit, and it's just the super mines, guys. So I'm gonna sell this dark monkey, which is not doing anything, and let's see how we can make this thing happen. So 135,000. We can straight up buy it if we like sell some of our farms, but let's let our farms make a little bit of money, and then we can decide what we need to sell. So the amount of money that we have is 70. When is it gonna stop is my question. Then we can decide on what we need to sell. Let me, by the way, use the active ability while I wait. Okay, so it stopped at 88,000. So we need about 20k, which I think we can solve by just selling 2 of these guys. Oh no, that's super close. So I'm just gonna sell an alchemist. I would rather sell an alchemist than one of the farms. Okay, so there we go. We got the super mines. We can quickly rebuy the alchemist, which I don't mind selling, but let's see if this is gonna be enough damage. So I'm gonna need these mines to do a lot. And look at this thing. The super mines is actually struggling. That's insane. The super mines are getting the job done though, but I don't know, guys. I'm gonna use the level 10 ability as a cope, but yeah, we do get it done, but I don't like this one bit. You can only imagine what's gonna be happening free play with this insane Odyssey that we have today. And then look at this thing, a ZOMG on round 80 with 5,000%, and it's just walking through our super mines like it's nothing. Oh my god, they went through all of them. I am incredibly concerned about what's going to be happening into these upcoming rounds, guys, because this is free play and this is where the party starts. So these guys are going to be ramping up, obviously, with their HP, but this ramp up is exponential, and when you have exponential ramping plus 5,000%, yeah, things are going to get crazy. So this is where the fun starts in this Odyssey, actually, and let me just, I guess I'm just going to keep using these abilities. These are like cope abilities. It's not going to do too much, but let me just check the pops onto these guys. In the early hundreds of thousands, maybe we should have gotten like a sub commander a little bit earlier, maybe even the preemptive strike, which I still don't have, by the way. I thought I bought this thing. Oh, wait a minute, let me just buy it. And then at the start of the video, I mentioned to you guys that Ninja Kiwi went out of their way to ban just a bunch of towers to just not allow us to one-shot, not allow us to slow these guys down. One of the things they also took care of is the Paragons as well. So you're like, oh, you're just gonna buy the Goliath and you're gonna win. Nope, you're not gonna buy the Goliath. You're gonna buy the Ninja Paragon, which is amazing versus Mob Club Moons. Nope, you're not gonna do that. Oh, you wanna buy the VTSG, I heard. You're gonna make a lot of money. No, you're not gonna do that. No Legend of the Night. And you cannot even league these guys, which is another reason why they banned it. So yeah, very, very, very devious Odyssey by Ninja Kiwi. This is next level stuff. And look at this thing, round 83. These guys, thankfully these are just mob class balloons, and the super mines is taking care of the 4 million pops. I just placed this thing. By the way, you guys remember how the ZMG in round 80 just walked through all our super mines? Well, we have 2 now, and these guys are ramped up, and these guys are again walking through our defenses like it's nothing. Oh my god, we have to get, I think I'm gonna have to get a call to arms actually, just so we can buff this thing a little bit more. So the thing that I'm doing in the next 3 rounds is just making the super mines stronger, and eventually we're gonna have to go into Paragons, but I'm just trying to delay that as much as possible. So let me use the call to arms right now to just produce a bunch of explosions for these guys. And actually this was only 85, so 87 is gonna be a lot more annoying than this, isn't it? All right, I mean, here it comes, 87. We're gonna have to call to arms in a second, and then I'm gonna time it with the overclock as well. I think this is the overclock for yeah, that was the overclock probably for the spike. So let's use the call to arms as well, and we're gonna need like a million mines. Let me just check the damage. It's 6.7 million. It's like 4 rounds since the 4 million mark that we showed, and it's like it's insane how much damage is needed to get through these balloons. But it's also really fun. Yeah, it's not looking good for the entirety of this round, is it? Because all the super mines are gone. I mean, they're kind of deploying some of the mines, I guess, and I guess these ZMGs are damaged a little bit, but it's really not looking good. We're gonna get a second round of the call to arms, so I might as well use it right now. 3 of them popped, and there's a lot of leftovers, by the way. Don't forget, these leftovers are 5,000% as well. So yeah, it's not like you pop this ZMG layer and then it's all done and dusted. No, it's so much damage to go through. And do we actually have this thing? Because if we do, this is gonna buy us like a round or 2. So as long as these spikes at the back hold, that's gonna be amazing. Yes, there we go. Let's see how we do versus DTs in round 90. So these guys are, I mean, they are popping in the super mine. That's really good. Is it gonna go through them? No, it's not. The super mine's actually held. Yeah, I'm not sure we're taking out these ZOMGs though, however. So yeah, we took down the ones on 87, but these guys, I don't think it's happening, just because their HP is so ramped up, and the fact that, well, we just tanked a million 45 mobs with the spikes that we had. So and this is gonna be the round, guys. Round 92 is the round to which we're gonna have to buy the sub Paragon. So yeah, let me just hit home and let's just think this through. All right, so first things first, favorite trades boat. Let me sell a bunch of these farms in the range of the village, see how much money we can make. So I'm gonna sell all of them. I don't think it matters at this point. I'm probably gonna keep the carpet spikes just because it's been performing so well. It's kind of nice to have it at the back. And then Nordic Siege Core. Do we put all the money into this thing? I'm really scared putting all the money into this thing, guys, because if this doesn't work, then we have no backup plan essentially. And actually, I think we should save a little bit of cash so that we can buy the homeland defense for our super mines. So I think, is this gonna be enough? Yeah, this is probably gonna be enough. There we go. And what's the degree that we're gonna get? It's gonna be a 46. I don't like the 46. I don't like the 46. I don't think that this is gonna be enough, guys. Look at this thing go. No, it's struggling a little bit. I mean, this is gonna take out 92, but is it gonna take out around 100? I don't know. Let's see how we do versus DDTs, by the way. So I think we should sell Adora, by the way, because she's not doing anything. Let's just get rid of her and her abilities. Let's see how we do versus these DDTs. So yeah, DDTs so far, spike mines doing, not spike mines, but the super mines doing very well. There is pretty much nothing else that we can do. We have $30,000, so what do we buy for these $30,000? Oh, actually, you know what? We can buy the Mer Monkeys, which are gonna slow down, I guess, just a little bit these mob class balloons, and I think every little bit helps. So maybe we should have a Mer Monkey like here as well in the middle. Let's go like this. Set it on strong. Actually, should probably be on first, and that is about it, right? I mean, what else? That's pretty much it. There's nothing else that we can do. We have $20,000, but these $20,000 are not gonna do anything. So yeah, it's all gonna be on the sub Paragon, and hopefully this sub Paragon is gonna do it. Look at the damage go, by the way, and the guys, 7 million pops. We just place this guy. Yeah, the pops are just taking off, and how is it looking? That's around 94, and it's not looking too hot because 94 made it, well, I guess a third of the map in, and 98 is gonna be like double its difficulty. So yeah, I'm a little bit concerned. You can say that for sure. Let's see how we do on 95. So 95 seems like the super mines are actually the ones that are taking care of the DTs. I should probably, by the way, spikes by the way, into the carpet of spikes just so we can deal a little bit of damage to these guys as well. So far so good. 95 is actually a little bit easier than I would have thought. I feel like the super mines are the ones doing the carrying, and we are running out of super mines. Is this gonna hold? There we go. We get a homeland at the last second, and there goes 95. Alright, so 5 rounds left to go. 96, thankfully, only just fortified mobs, which are so far not as difficult to deal with, so I think it's gonna be fine, and then just like normal BFBs, which is, I guess it's exactly the same, but when you think in terms of 5,000%, it's like, wait, is it though? Is it the same as it is? I'm not exactly sure. 11 million pops into this guy, by the way. 18 million on the spike factory. This thing is owning. I'm pretty sure this guy, the super mines, is the best purchase that we've made in this entire run, like hands down. Nothing comes even close. I mean, maybe the sub paragon, which is gonna get us the win, hopefully. And here comes the big one. Okay, so let's actually check out what is the RBE onto this round. So we're starting with 20 million on the spike factory, 15 million on the sub, and then this guy's like 2.5, but he's not gonna do too much. Okay, so 20 with 15 million. Let's see how much these guys have at the end of this round. So the usual RBE on 98 is like 320,000 pops, I think it was. So you do 5,000% on the majority of that because it takes into account like ceramics and stuff like that, but we are not gonna have those, right, getting 5,000 HP. But so far it is, they seem to be dealing with them, right? So I'm only watching like the front and how the super mines are doing. We're gonna have a homeland proc right now, so this homeland is gonna actually, this homeland was with very good timing because it's hitting the majority of the balloons while they're here at the bottom left, and I think we have this thing. I mean, as long as they don't get past. I'm watching this little super mine spike pile, and it actually held. Let me just check the pop count. 25 million on this guy and 20 million on this guy. Oh my god, that was a 10 million round RBE on round 98. That's insane. How are we doing versus these 45 DTs, by the way? Oh my god, don't lose on this one. 3 left, 2 left. Please, that's the last one. If we pop this one, yes, that's very good. All right, so the last one. This is it, guys. This guy has almost 1.5 million HP. I launched the ability, and let's see if we're gonna be able to take him down. So there go the missiles. Let's see how much of an impact damage we're gonna do with it. So the missile should land in any second. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's not even close to like 1 million damage, but it was decent actually. The really active leftovers are gonna do DPS as well. And are we taking the bat down? Oh my god, this is all gonna be on Spike Storm. And look at this thing, by the way. I just noticed this, but Spike Storm is still overtaking the sub paragon in the amount of pops. 22 versus 20, or 25 versus 22 million. Oh, this thing actually popped. There we go. Let's use the Spike Storm as well. We have no more abilities and nothing else to do, guys. If this thing doesn't pop, then, well, I guess it is what it is. And it's gonna, no, it's going out of the range of the Spike Storm. This is not good. Okay, all on the sub paragon now. ZMG layer popped. I think I'm gonna sell one of the mer monkeys actually, and if I can place it in time, not necessary, absolutely not necessary. There we go. We actually take it down. Wow, what a wild odyssey that was. Let me just hit review map for a second, and let's just take a look at the pops. So 25 million on the Spy Factory, 23.5 million onto the sub paragon. That is insane. And let's just take a look at this one. 3 million on the carpet of spikes, which is absolutely insane. And boy, what an odyssey that was. That was super fun to play, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Good luck in your runs. Don't forget to farm a lot, it looks like, and just get some paragons going. And yeah, that's gonna be for this one. What if we combined 2 tower chimps and 2 mega pops chimps at the same game? Is this thing possible? And I have a feeling that it is. Well, it actually is possible, but let's see if we can make a combo happen. You guys would be surprised, I think, to see how many combos are actually possible with this whole thing. So 2 tower chimps basically means that you're beating an entire game of chimps mode by only using 2 towers and nothing else. 2 mega pops chimps means that you're getting over 2 million pops on a single tower in a chimps mode run. And now this, the whole thing with the 2 million pops is that there are a total of 2,042,000 pops in a single game of chimps mode. So you can see that the line is very, very thin when it comes to that. So is it possible? Is it possible to get over 2 million pops in a single tower and also only use 2 towers in the process? Well, the answer is that it is, and you guys will probably be surprised how many combos are actually possible with this whole thing. I mean, it's not like it's 5 combos or anything like that. I think it's actually a lot more than that. Oh, let me just watch this one. So I wanted to try it with a very interesting combo, which is going to be the overclock NG and the Darkling, which we just got the money for. So let me just have it towards the to the back as possible, and then lock it over here because I don't think that we're gonna need to micro, at least not yet. And the combo that I wanted to do today is the overclock NG and the Ray of Doom. And I do think that this is actually a very much possible combo, which also should be very fun, because you guys probably know that the top bat, starting from the laser cannon and the plasma accelerator, these guys cannot pop purple balloons. So that's why the NG is here. He's gonna help a little bit with the popping of purple balloons when it comes to this mid game. And this is gonna be the first problematic round, because these are green balloons and they seem to be leaking. So let me just micro this and try and maybe target it like this, maybe try target manually, because this thing does not have a lot of pierce at all. Oh wait, this is not gonna work out, is it? I mean, it's barely holding on. Okay, thankfully so. I think that's what I needed to do. I needed to pick it up myself and just kind of manually aim it. But this is where the foam is going to come in handy, because it is popping lead balloons by itself. So that's very nice, but the downside is that we only have 40,000 pops to spare, and this thing is at 1,000 already, and we're in the 30s. So, oh no, it's zebras. Can we do something about these guys? I mean, we are de-regrowing them, which is very nice, but oh my god, this is way too close. This thing does not have any pierce at all. We're gonna need the laser cannon as soon as possible. We're very much off of it. How much is this exactly? $4,000 with 2.5. Let's see how I do versus these purples. This is a huge mess. 33 at least is going to be an easy round, but we need to deal with this one, so I'm just kind of keeping it attacking at the top. And during 34, so 34 is going to be an interesting one, because it's going to be yellows and zebras, so that one might create an issue, but if we can afford it, oh yeah, the pierce is absolutely going to get overloaded with this thing. I mean, maybe I set the engine on last or something like that. We absolutely need to beat this round. This is a long one as well. Or maybe we'll buy the oversized nails. Yeah, this one's going to be an issue. So I don't want to be upgrading the engine too much, because this thing is going to be taking away pops, but I feel like we have to. So let's try and only getting the oversized nails. And then if this doesn't work, I'm going to set it on last as well. But then if this doesn't work, I'm just going to buy the pin. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to make it work with the pin, but that's a kind of a problematic upgrade, because I don't want to be doing that. This thing is going to become way too strong. It's going to be taking so many pops. So as long as these balloons like stop up, I see two pinks coming out. You guys see them? So we're gonna need to focus on the pinks. No, that was super close though. Okay, so let's do the exact same thing, but I'm gonna switch the NG to first this time, so that the NG helps out a little bit. And I feel like this might be, yeah, this is actually a lot better than last time. That's very good. So we kind of saved the pin upgrade. We didn't buy it, so this thing is not gonna be as strong. And I think that this is going to be the round, as long as we hold on for a little bit longer, yeah, this is going to be the round when we finally afford the laser cannon. But yeah, look at this. Look at the difference a single upgrade makes. This laser cannon is a super strong one. It also applies the DPS effect, but it changes the attack type, and this is kind of the problem with this strategy, that until you get the Ray of Doom, there's no way for you to deal with purples, and that's exactly what the NG is going to be doing. Let me actually do a quick pop count check onto the NG. So this thing is it's at 1.8k, so now what we need to have happen is we need to just be popping all of these balloons before they reach the NG's range, so that it doesn't steal any pops. Oh, that's a Moab, I think. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, just let's make sure. I think we need to be very careful with this whole thing. Yeah, this thing is super strong. Oh, look at this thing, the laser cannon. It's destroying everything. Okay, so 43, some ceramics. I really want to be popping these before they reach the NG, and it feels like we're gonna do it, right? Yes, there we go. So what's the price on the plasma accelerator? It's 11.8. Which means that we're almost there. Let me just lock this thing in place, and I think this is gonna be fine, and we should have it on this round. But then 40, yeah, there we go. But then 45, and just have it like this. But 45 is going to have these purple balloons. So let's see how many pops this thing is gonna take. I mean, it's still at 1.8k, but see, look, this is the problem. This is the point we're starting, guys. A bunch of purples. Do I have this thing? No, I need to have this thing set on last. So let's just have it like this and see how it does. I mean, so sometimes a purple bloom makes it all the way around, but it gets caught on the way back. But if it doesn't, then we have it seems to be doing fine. Yeah, that's completely fine. So this thing is actually not stealing that many pops now, it seems like. I mean, it's gonna be a different story when the 50s start rolling in and all of the Moabs. But so far, we're doing very well. And it's an interesting tower the way that it works, because we're gonna get the overclock now. And so as soon as you overclock it, it's actually going to prevent itself from getting more pops, right? Because it's going to be overclocking the plasma accelerator, and it's going to become a lot stronger. So yeah, let's just test this thing. So ideally, I want to overclock the plasma accelerator, and then as soon as a Moab appears, without me doing anything, I want that Moab to pump right here on the top track before reaching the range of the NG. That's the ideal scenario, and that's exactly what is happening. Yes, very good. Okay, 61 still going strong, but this is exactly what I was talking about. So we have to actually micro it on this round. We cannot just have it overclocked sitting at the back. So let's just follow these guys so that we pop the Moabs as soon as possible, and we don't allow it. Actually, I should be focusing down these purples as well, right? So as soon as the purple layer gets popped, like those leftovers, they need to get taken care of immediately, because the NG is taking pops onto them. So let's just focus on the Moab like this. and then move it back as soon as it pops the purples, but it seems to be doing fine. It's not leaking a lot. Like, the only leaks that I'm seeing is just like some small balloons making it all the way around. Maybe it's gonna be different with the 45 Mars, but I think that the purples are gonna stop coming out in a second, right? Yeah, there we go. So no more purple balloons, which means that we made it. Very good. I mean, listen, guys, this is going very well so far. This is a pretty clean and a pretty smooth run. Although the Ray of Doom is like 86,000, so it's ways off. But let's just micro it on 63 because, yeah, we need to be following these huge waves of ceramics. So let's do it like that. And let me just get the overclock because it ran out. And let's just keep focusing down these huge waves. So as soon as it comes out, you just want to have it on top of the wave so that that's where it does the most damage. So you want to kind of not have to. I think that if I just let it like that, I think it's probably going to be able to honestly beat the entire wave. Let me just test it. Oh yeah, there we go. I was kind of worried that it's going to go into the engine and the engine is going to get pops, but it seems to be dealing with it by itself. So let's just see how it does versus 45 Moabs now. Oh no, you actually have to micro it on the 45s. Okay, look at that. So we have to, yeah, on each round that there are 45 Moabs, we have to follow them with the focal point because it's going into the engine is taking pops. You can still take this challenge to the next level, and the way that you do that is by actually doing the 2 tower chimps. You do the 2 mega pops, which means that the tower needs to get over 2 million pops. Well, I guess the next modifier, well, it's not a modifier, but it's more like a restriction or a challenge, if you would like to say, is that you want to get all pops chimps. And all pops chimps basically means that one tower gets every single pop in chimps mode. And this is possible because if you only do all pops chimps, that you don't have to worry about, you know, the 2 tower chimps restriction, but you can in fact combine 2 tower chimps, 2 mega pops, and all pops chimps into a completely new challenge. And that is, believe it or not, actually possible. It is actually a possible combo, which we might even attempt doing, but that is, I don't think that that's as simple though. So the combo is a Buccaneer, it's a Pirate Lord, and a Homeland Village, because the Pirate Lord is super strong nowadays. Let's just see how we do on 75. So I do want to be focusing down these BFB. Oh my god, yeah, these 45s are going to be an issue, and also a huge wave of BFBs at the back. So let me just focus these guys down as soon as possible, and then we're going to check the pops on the NG. And also, I think there's going to be a huge wave on 76, so I do want to be focusing them down with the focal point as well. I don't want to let them get to the NG. So there we go. Go like this and focus it down. And I think the engine didn't get any pops, maybe like 1 or 2, but that's completely fine. So let me just check the pops. It's 3,000. Yeah, we're doing very well so far. The laser itself becomes a lot weaker versus these super ceramics, and so you basically need to micro it starting from this point on. You can't just let it sit like that and attack, because also the Spears is going to get overloaded, and it's just not good versus these super ceramics, as you guys can see. So look at that, they're making it all the way. Are they gonna make it around? Yes, they are. Oh my god, what? I mean, I knew that this thing is gonna struggle, but this is like 81. I mean, as soon as these mobs, as soon as everything starts scaling, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. We're gonna need to be focusing these guys manually. Okay, that's 82. Let me overclock it, and then I think this is the last one of the normal BFBs. So now the 45s one are coming in. So let me overclock it, and let's just do it. Are we doing these guys one by one? I think we might be, because I'm really scared of these ceramics. Yeah, these ceramics are not popping. You need to be focusing them down with the focal point. Yeah, that's very sad. Oh no, it's not going. It's getting blocked by the umbrella. Okay, are we gonna fumble this? I really hope not. This is a huge wave. If we beat that wave, I think that we might be, I don't want to say we're fine, but I don't think we're beating that wave. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the catch for this round is to be lasering them down individually. So you kind of do a little bit of damage and then you move on to the next one, but you dealt enough damage so that they pop to the DPS, I feel like. So let me just snipe these guys to the side and then go back to the other one. And then move on to this one, and then you kind of just laser them down slowly. Then move on to the next one, and I see some leaks, so maybe we can patch the leaks up like this. Oh my god, what's happening? Okay, 2 more left. Is this even possible? I hope it is. Overclock quickly. I mean, we have a full BFB remaining. Okay, it popped somehow. Oh my god, do I just pop these guys one by one also? Let's try that. Let's try popping the mobs one by one. So if we can, it's gonna be on 86, the next one. So if we don't get the Ray of Doom by 86, then we're toast, but oh my god, what was that? We finally got it, but what was that? And this round, actually, what am I talking about? This round has 45s as well, but these ones are not inside of BFB, so that's actually good. They might actually pop by themselves. Okay, so this is gonna be a huge problem. So we're around 85, and we are at 84,000. We're gonna be at $85,000. So here's the problem. The next round has 45 BFBs. It's only 45 BFBs and nothing else. So we're going to need to make the money for the Ray of Doom during that round. That is given that we beat this one, which this one seems to be a little bit annoying as well. 85,000? How much money are we going to be ending up with? That's the most important question. 85 and a half, and this is 86. We need $900, but this is just 45 BFB. So we need to be beating these guys one by one and then see how much money each one of them gives. No way, this is so nerve-wracking. We're missing $400 for this thing. We need to overclock, and the other one is gonna pop as well, and I'm just lasering them down. We're gonna need to overclock in a second and then hope we beat this thing. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. 86.1 and a full BFB alive. Can we do this thing? I'm gonna do it the same way as I did it before, but this is just ridiculous. This is just this unfair. Come on, dude. No, another one popped. Let's just laser these guys down in the back and hope this is enough. Is the overclock up? No. I think this is unironically the best attempt I had so far, but we need to beat this round. It's only one. Oh my god, please hold on. Okay, so we're back around 85, and things are a little bit different this time because I restarted this entire thing. But let me tell you guys what happened. So I was very close to getting the Ray of Doom. I was a couple $100 off, and if you take a look at the oversized nails upgrade, this one cost $485. So if we just hadn't bought this thing, we would have had the money. So I went back and I said, okay, let me try not buy this thing and see if we can have the money. But I bought it around 34, and I'm gonna play a clip around 34 in which I'm buying it. This is basically what I tried. I tried for half an hour to beat around 34 without buying the oversized nails, and I failed. So I gave up, and I think it's possible, by the way, but I just wasn't able to get it. So I not only bought the oversized nails, but I bought the pin upgrade as well. Now the pin is actually kind of good, which I probably should have done in the previous run, which is an upgrade that allows the cleansing foam to slow the balloons for a second, the balloons that it touches. So that's gonna be nice versus the ceramics. And then I also moved the darting gun a little bit back, so that previously it was hitting this umbrella. You guys see this? So it doesn't go through it because it was down here, but now it's up here, so it has a full range here towards the I guess towards the downside like this. And I think that we should be able to, at least if this helps like 1 or 2% in this entire round, I think that that's gonna be more than enough. So let's just see how we're gonna do this, and then I don't know, guys. I mean, yeah, you guys see that slow? Yeah, that's very important. I think that's super important because it's going to keep them for a brief second, and then it's going to allow us to basically focus on yes, and I also place it on the intersection. I think that's very good. This slow might be the key to winning this round, I think. Let me not jinx it. Let's just slowly do this one by one. The overclock is ready, so let's just be very, very careful with our ability. This is my first attempt, by the way, and it's looking like... yeah, it's looking a lot. This is looking like the best run that we've had so far, but let me not mess it up with the mobs. So let's just pop them one by one as well. And oh my god, the fact that this foam is there and it's slowing them by a brief second, I feel like this is making all the change in the world. Let me just... I'm also being very good with the micro, I gotta be honest. I mean, come on, look at this. Let me just overclock it, not mess it up. This is the last round of ceramics. And I can't actually believe I first time this. This was the first time that I attempted this. I haven't tried this before recording it. That's insane. That's all it took. It took, well, a little bit of a placement change and just getting the pin upgrade, I guess, on the foam. But now we're missing about $100, and these are not 45 ceramics. And let me tell you, these not 45 ceramics means that they are just gonna evaporate. So let's finally buy this Ray of Doom. And I think that this run is pretty much going to come to an end. At least I want to see how it does. Let me just turn off All-Star because I was very, very careful and very scared about these runs. So let me just have the Ray of Doom go like this. And I feel like this run, it's probably not going to have any resistance until we get into the 90s. So I think I'm going to see you guys on these more difficult rounds. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. Nothing is even gone past this point. I don't think towards the intersection. I think that, and I've not even been overclocking this thing. Just the Ray of Doom is so good. It's such a good tower by itself, and it seems to be melting everything. So only a few rounds left, and by the looks of this, these rounds are gonna take like a minute, right? Because they just get popped as soon as they come out. Look at these UMGs. Nothing is even gonna make it to the range of the NG, right? So the NG is at 11,000 pops, so which means that we're clear, guys. This is just letting the Ray of Doom take all the pops. We're at 1.5 million, so oh, something is kind of getting close, but that's fine because the NG is weak. Round 98, so am I overclocking this one? I think I am. I'll just overclock it, why not? And oh my god, where did it go? Wait, was that it? Was that 98? The ZRMGs popped before even all these BFBs could come out, and that's gonna be it. I mean, we are probably gonna need to micro it honestly for around 100. So let's leave it like this for a second. Let's overclock it. Is that even true that we're gonna need to micro it though? Because this thing seems to be popping really. Oh my god, it's popping super fast with the overclock, and there it is. There it is. Let me just check the pop count. Yes, 2,031,000 pops onto the Ray of Doom, and then this one is at 11. So everything, the math checks out, everything is nice, and we actually did it, guys. This thing is actually possible, and you know, we struggled on a couple of rounds. I would say maybe the purple ones was a little bit of a scare for me, and also I went back and tried round 34 like for half an hour until I gave up. And everything that we needed to do was just to buy the pin upgrade, it seems like, so that the ceramics get slowed for a brief second on 86, and that allowed us to do damage to them and beat it first try. But that was a very fun one. It was 2 tower chimps and 2 megabucks combined, and that was a very fun video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next one. Can one single tower get all of the pops versus an elite boss? And yes, this is probably going to be a very exciting, very interesting one. I'm super excited to try this out. This is, by the way, something I've done before in recent memory at least, and this should be a very fun one, guys. Alright, so that's going to be the engineer, by the way. So this is the tower that you can. You have to choose a tower that you can start with, right? And also the tower needs to have, like, well, first off, a paragon of itself, and also some, you know, some characteristics. Like, for example, it needs to be not exactly that expensive. It needs to be able to pop different types of balloons. It needs to be able to hold its own. Alright, so the plan for the early ones is going to be to use the Sentry Paragon. So it's going to be the 520 Sentry Paragon, which hopefully is going to be able to hold its own versus the first 3 tiers. And then for tier number 4, we're going to get the Engineer Paragon, and then by tier number 5, it's going to get fully overclocked by itself, which means that it's going to get a lot more power, and this is the change that I'm playing off of. Yeah, it's not looking good, this one, is it? So that's a huge wave of green moves, and I'm just thinking, what do we want to do for this one? So we're going to be left with 30. That's not good. That's way too many lives. Okay, so let's try and upgrade something, I guess. Let's maybe get the sentries. Or actually, what if we're greedy a little bit? Let me get the pickles, which is going to be $100 that we're going to have to put into this thing. I guess the sentries are more of a long-term solution, but let's just try and fix this round only. So let's have this guy on strong so that we're only focusing down the green blues. This is so much better. It's going to be 60. Oh, that's too close. 68 lives remaining. Alright, I'm completely fine with this as long as we are able to save up money for a 000 farm and then we go into a sentry, so I'm completely fine with that. Alright, so we're leaking into our pings, guys. Not looking that hot. Maybe we should have went for the sentries, but oh, you live and you learn, I guess it is. So that's going to be how much? It's going to be 33. Is it going to go below 30? Yes, it's going to be 29 lives. Alright, but at least we're going to get our farm, right? So farm number 3 goes like this. I think this is the spot. And then if we buy a village over here, it should have all 3 farms in range for the discounts, which should be good enough. Alright, so let's turn off all the star because it's round 27 ending. And here is what I want to do for round 28 in the lead balloons. This is not exactly as efficient, but we're trying to do the, well, all pops should end up with the NG, right? So let's go like this and let's buy the AMD for the NG. And I'm going to have the NG on what? Strong probably is going to be good. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy the NG and I'm gonna sell it, so we have the AMD buff onto this guy, and hopefully with this AMD he's gonna be able to pop all of the lead balloons. So one more please, strong. Yes, there we go. Okay, that was amazing. So now we can clean all these guys out. That's amazing. And then for the let's around 30, I just remember we should have done the glue actually, because it's a free tower and doesn't take any pops. So I'm gonna place the glue like this. We have 1.4k, and here's what I'm thinking. Maybe we can get away by buying the monkey business, the monkey commerce, and then we make some money off of these farms, and then we just do the same thing with the alchemist. Is this gonna work? As soon as this, I'll let this out of range of the alchemist. Let's go like this, and then oh my god, I'm $8 off. You have to be kidding me, man. There's no way this happened. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going to get at least just the monkey business, so we get a little bit of discount going. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy the AMD when I guess we're gonna have to get the money from these guys. This guy's set on strong. Let me give him a little bit of extra range, and now we're gonna buy the AMD, and I think we're just gonna have to buy the AMD 2 times. It looks like this is a lot more safer, so let's get this guy on strong. I feel like it's possible with only one AMD buff, by the way, but I don't know. It's like I don't want to spend the entire day doing this, so I'm just gonna go like this. We're gonna lose a little bit of cash by doing this, but it's fine. And now let's move this guy back to strong. Let's give the AMD again, and are we gonna pop this? Yes, that's very good. Okay, so we were able to keep the alchemist. I was scared of these leftovers just making it in the range of the alchemist, but it's fine. So now we can sell it, I think, or not. Oh no, the AMD buff expired, but you know what? We can absolutely tank this one. Okay, so that's completely fine. Right, so let's see if we have enough money to do the thing that we want to do. So let's sell everything, and we're gonna need. I'm gonna go hard with the discount villages, and when I say I'm going hard, I'm gonna go with 2 actually. So let's go like this. Is there gonna be enough space, by the way, for farm, or it's really tight, but yes, we get the farm going. So bam, bam, and then if I sell both of these guys, look at this, $5,009, which is $9, so that's amazing. All right, how's everything looking, guys? I think we're doing quite well for ourselves. So 4 of these marketplaces, not too bad. Before 129 plus a Minneapolis, I mean, that's amazing. And finally, in comes the tier 1 boss. All right, so what do we do for this one? Well, it's gonna have to be the Sentry Expert. I'm pretty sure that the Sentry... Did I say the Sentry Expert? It's gonna be a Sentry Champion. Okay, so this guy is gonna defeat Bluneras by itself. At least a tier 1, right? And for the next year, so we're gonna have to do a lot of things. So it's actually Jerry's Fire first on this round, then give him the camo, and by the time these Rio Rainbows, they reach the NG, yeah, they're just essentially popped. Okay, so that's very good. Let's also give this guy... Oh no, the fertilizer is not unlocked. I think he's gonna unlock... Yes, right now. That's right on time. As soon as we bought the Central Market, that's amazing. All right, this is a very bad thing that I'm doing, but I just greed out one more Central Market. Let's see if we have any fertilizers incoming anytime soon. Nope, not looking like it. Okay, that's completely fine. All right, so let's buy the Sentry Champion as soon as possible. There we go. So now the damage starts skyrocketing actually towards Bluneras. I think I'm gonna set this guy to strong so that we only focus Bluneras, because we have absolutely no other priority than doing that. Let me just make sure I'm fertilizing the farms as soon as these fertilizers are incoming, and then you know what, I'm probably even just gonna be giving this guy J's Fire just for a little bit of extra damage. That's about it. All right, how are we looking? That's amazing. So this is gonna be the second skull actually, around 49. That's not what you want to be hearing, that you're popping the second skull on 49. Oh my god, wait a minute, let me just switch this guy to first, by the way. Let me sell some of these guys manually. I think we're gonna lose if we leak all that, right? All right, let me actually manually sell some of these sentries so that we can get rid of them, and I think that's a lot better than last time. Okay, so we're gonna lose some lives, but I had to sell some sentries. Oh no, I don't want some sentries there. Okay, so let me get, what are we getting? We should get a glue, because it doesn't take away any pops, so we don't get any spawns from the sentries over here on the left side. There we go, that's a good spot for it. Let's give the camo potion to the NG again. And how is everything looking, guys? So this is actually gonna get really close with the tier 1, because see where Bluneras currently is, he's unavailable to us. See, we cannot attack him, and all these sentries are here in the middle. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna sell all of these sentries so that they don't attack the round, so that we can prolong the rounds a little bit and actually, you know, buy ourselves a little bit of time so the Bluneras can make the turn. So let's sell this guy as well. Let's sell this guy as well, which is actually doing a little bit of damage, but I am just selling all these sentries because I don't want them doing damage. I want these rounds lasting as long as possible, so let's sell this guy as well. How are we doing? I think I'm actually doing a good job with prolonging these rounds. I'm actually gonna sell this one, and I think I'm gonna stop at this point. So this guy's still on strong, which is really good. Let me just make sure I forgot to fertilize a couple of these guys. The joys of defeating an elite boss with just towers that are not meant for it. I guess you guys are looking at it. So all of these farms actually sell for about, how much is it gonna be? It's gonna be 34, so that's gonna be 68k. So that's actually, you know what it is, it's more than enough for a Banana Central. So I'm actually gonna go for a Banana Central as soon as possible. I'll just get it like this. There it is. So we're in the home stretch with this one. The tier 1 is gonna pop around 58. That's insane. We're gonna have to face the next year, like, well, right now. So that's not good, but let's at least get the Banana Central going. We get some cash going. This thing is fertilized, which is really nice. And in comes the tier 2. What do we do for this one? Okay, so I was thinking of having an engine like this, but I'm not sure, guys. It's probably gonna take away some pops, because look at how this curvature goes on the left side with the fog of war, right, and kind of this red line around the circle. I think it's gonna be able to see a little bit, so maybe if I have it like, it is gonna be good. I feel like this might be a little bit better than the previous one, so let's go like this, get the overclock, and make sure the foam is up top so it doesn't get any pops. And now let's do a couple of things. So first one, jungle jumps, so we get a little bit extra attack speed for our NG, and then we need to buy essentially a lot of, well, this first off is gonna be the glue storm, so we need some damage amplification. And then in the range of this village, I think this is where we're gonna have our call to arms. I don't think that we're gonna go past the call to arms, by the way. I think I'm just gonna keep it like this, because the homeland is way too expensive, and I want to spend some money onto farms. And now we should be, I mean, for this tier, this should be more than enough, right? So let me make sure this guy's set on strong. Let me just get the glue ability going. Oh my god, so many balloons. It's on 64, by the way. Let me use the call to arms. We also have the regrowth if we need it, but I'm not sure if we're gonna be needing that. So yeah, how's the damage looking? I mean, this is gonna be skull number 2. This is already looking way better than tier 1. I'm gonna be honest. Buy some of these guys into the BRFs. How many of them I can buy? Not too many. All right, so how's it looking? So about 2.5 skulls left. I think we can do better than that before Bluneras goes out of the range. We might even be able to fully pop it if we can get some sentry spawns here on the right side, but he's not spawning them on the right side. He's only spawning them here on the top left side. So we can prevent that actually. So let me place just like a placeholder farm like this, and now we should see a good chunk of these sentries getting spawned on the right side. We're gonna have the call to arms as well. Wait, where are those sentries going, by the way? Oh my god, he's spawning here at the bottom. What are you doing, man? Don't spawn in sentries here. Let me just place a glue like this, and then is there a spot for another one? I see a spot. Yes, there we go. Place them like this. What's wrong with this placement over here? Why is he not placing them here? I don't know. All right, and we're back in the range. So it's round 74, and yes, already this is looking so much better than last time. It's time for the ability, so let's just do this. Is gonna be the final push for it. I'm gonna switch the NG to first, and then is there something else that we could do? So I think I fertilized all of these farms. I was thinking of doing a redraw, but I actually want to save them for, or actually, are they gonna come off stock? What's the restock onto these redraws? It's probably gonna be less than 6 rounds because that's where the next boss comes out. So let's do this. Let's actually get one more extra ability thanks to a redraw. And how is everything looking? I think we actually have it, guys. This is gonna be the final push. 1.5 skulls left, but it's round 75, and let's actually just keep putting even more money into these farms because, well, that's the thing that we have to do. And this is gonna be the last call, so let me just use the abilities for one last time. I'm still buying the farms, by the way. We have a lot of cash, so the farming is actually doing really well. I also want to buy this thing as the Wall Street, by the way, and let me get the BRF. So one more BRF here on the side. This is doing amazing. Round 77 though. All of these like tier 1, tier 2, they're being just super close at this point, but I feel like it's gonna get easier, or at least, you know what, the tier 3 is probably not gonna get easier, but I feel like once we buy the NG Paragon, things should get a little bit easier for us. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so that's gonna be the tier 2, round 78. This is done, guys. This one is gone, and yes, let's actually make sure we defeat the next one. So what do we want to do for the tier 3, which is coming out in 2 rounds? Actually, before we go on to the tier 3, let's just do a pop count check. So 0 on the NG. Oh my god, this thing might actually be happening, and 0 on Geraldo. That's amazing. All right, so I didn't forget to do this, by the way. I almost forgot, but I didn't forget. So one of the ways that we can actually buff this NG is by getting an ultra boost for it, and it's gonna make it spawn a bunch more sentries. So yeah, let's actually get this thing going. Where did I place the? Yeah, there we go. I was looking for a tech bot, so let's disconnect the tech bot for a second, and let's just start overclocking and ultra boosting this guy. And guys, this right here is the most important tier out of all of them. So if we can defeat this one, then we probably have it. So here's what I want to do. I think I'm gonna sell this farm so we can get some sentry placements here while the boss is in the top left. 2 million HP onto this Bloonarius, plus, well, he's kind of difficult at this point, right? So the HP is starting to ramp up, and we're gonna need a lot of damage. So first off, let's go like this. Let's use both of our abilities, and actually I'm gonna start with the rejuves at first because they are eventually, I'm just gonna even get like a Cope Jerry's Fire just to do a little bit of extra damage. But once the homeland and everything is over, I'm gonna do a rejuve, and I'm gonna use all of them again. So let's go like this. Let's use the Glue Storm again. Make sure the NG is set on strong, and the HP, I mean, it's kind of going somehow. It's going ahead somehow, guys. Maybe we can actually do this thing. Let me just keep buying these farms up top. Let me just try and keep these try to keep these placements clean, you know, just as long as we don't make a mess, we save as much space as possible so that we can place even more farms. Let's get the call to arms while there's downtime. I'm multitasking a lot, but I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing as well. So I'm using the call to arms while there's downtime onto the homeland as well. And then how are we doing? 4 stacks onto the ultra boost. Yeah, maybe if we start the ultra boosting this thing a little bit earlier would be fine, but yeah, I think it's gonna be fine like this anyway. So let's make sure we are fertilizing the best of our farms, and I'm just gonna keep using these abilities off cooldown. I'm gonna be honest. So as soon as I'm gonna use the homeland, and then as soon as this homeland is out, I think I'm gonna rejuve once more, and then I'm just gonna let these rejuves do their thing. So they're gonna restock, and we're gonna play off of the call to arms in the homeland as well. All right, so the homeland is about to expire, so let's rejuve this. Let's use the glue storm and the homeland again. Is this guy strong? Yeah, he's strong. He's also, you know what he's doing? He's getting a lot of bombs by himself, which is gonna be really nice eventually for the big Paragon, the NG Paragon itself. All right, so call to arms again. We're doing very well, guys. Let me just check out on the NG. He's still not reached 10 ultra boost. He's at 9, and it's around 84. Yeah, so that's what we should have done. We should have started the ultra boosting at like around 76 or something like that. But keep in mind, we were still fighting the boss in the previous one at that time. So yeah, I guess it's fine that we can say that it slipped our mind, right? And let me see if I can find a spot for another farm. Like this is probably gonna, yeah, here up top, this is gonna be probably the last one. And yeah, I don't see any more. Maybe I don't see them right now, but I think that's about it with the spots for the farms. Let me just check the amount of bombs onto these guys. Okay, so the NG is still at 0, and then Geraldo, if I can click him, still at 0. That is absolutely amazing. Okay, that's exactly what you want to see. All right, so the boss is going on the right side, and we have to start thinking about switching these sentries from the left to the right side. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna sell this farm, and I'm gonna place a farm like right here where all these sentries are, so the placement gets blocked. And then we also got a rejuve potion. So yeah, oh, look at this thing. So the sentries are getting spawned on the right side. That's amazing. This is the perfect spot for these guys. I should probably just place a farmer actually here on the left side, because these crates are a little bit distracting. So let's do that. We're gonna have the call to arms in a second. You know what? I'm actually gonna rejuve this. Let's use both the glue storm and the homeland, and then we're gonna use the call default arms when there's downtime onto these guys. And you know what? This farm might as well become something like a 4-0, right? So it makes a little bit of cash. And you know what? This is actually the tier 3 boss, which we're defeating with the tower that we used onto a tier 1. And somehow this is the best one out of all of them. Like, that's actually crazy to me. It just goes to show how much, you know, this ultra boosting and just, I guess, god boosting in this case would be a more proper term for what is happening right now. Oh, by the way, something that we can do actually, because we have a lot of money, I should remember to do this a little bit earlier, but I should have bought Geraldo's level 20 so we can start placing the Paragon Power Totems actually. So yeah, let's do that while we're at it. How is it looking? So this is gonna be the last one. I really hope Lunarius doesn't just walk out of the range of these sentries, so we have to wait for it. We can do these kinds of things, you know, it's really easy for something to go wrong, but so far so good. Let me just not check the pops on Geraldo and the Ultra Boost and figure out that one of those guys is like 1 pops, because I'm gonna be very mad. So let me just check that. All right, 0 on Geraldo and then 0 on the Ultra Boost. Okay, this might actually be happening. That's amazing. By the way, this run is inspired by a Reddit post which I saw, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I saw someone post a screenshot of themselves doing it with the Wizard Paragon. So I was like, wait a minute, is this possible with the NG? Because the NG got a lot of buffs actually. It sounds super strong versus bosses, overclocks itself, so I was like, I have to try this thing. All right, so it's round 99, so we're gonna be selling all of these farms when this round ends, and I'm just gonna buy the NG Paragon. Hope we get as high of a degree as possible. Let me just not forget to place the Paragon Power Totems. So this is gonna be 13, and then when this round ends, it's gonna be 14 Paragon Power Totems in total, which is, I'm more than happy with that. I'm gonna be honest. So this is round 100. The tier 4 is about to appear, and I'm just gonna buy the NG Paragon right now. It's gonna overclock itself to the max for the tier 5, and that's why we want to buy it right now instead of at where the tier 5 arrives. And just for the sake of transparency, I wanted to show you guys that Geraldo indeed has 0 pops, because I'm gonna be selling him, and this Ultra Boost is gonna get sacrificed, so he's at 0 pops as well. And then all these other towers are just glues, which don't do any damage, and just a bunch of farms. And all the pops, 4.5 million, are at the NG. So yeah, so far so good. We are getting all pops on a single tower. So I bought this favorite trades boat, by the way, 0 pops. I just bought it. So let's just sell a bunch of these farms. So let's see how much money we can make. All right, and there it is. So $2.1 million. We have to buy the. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just have the trap like this, because if I were to place it, it would have placed the trap on the ground, and then it's another tower which collects the power. So we need to have this guy actually in the side here. And let's buy the Master Builder. I'm gonna put all the money into this thing because there's nothing else that we can do. So let's see what's the degree that we're gonna get. It is a 72. All right, so 72 should be able to solo tiers 4 and 5, right? Especially because it overclocks faster by itself. I mean, with the extra NGs, or I should say the sentries, yeah, it definitely should. So we're gonna keep the Glue Storm actually, because well, it doesn't do any pops. And oh my god, this game plays so much smoother now. Like the screen is so clean that there's no lag. That's amazing to watch. All right, so the NG is gonna eat this guy up, isn't it? Let me just place the last sentry as well, and yes, let's watch these guys go. Oh my god, the damage is insane. Okay, so and as these rounds are passing, it's just overclocking itself. It's just becoming a lot more stronger. And then let's just go like this with this sentry. Actually, maybe place it where Lunarius is, so we can sell it and actually do some damage with that. So let's go like this, and that's good. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage to the tier 4. All right, so let's wait for the boss to make it all the way around, because he's behind the log currently. Actually, he's inside of the log. So if I sell the blue sentry, or if I place the blue sentry and it automatically sells the previous one, it's not going to do any damage, I don't think. So let's just wait for this guy to come out, which is absolutely not gonna, it's absolutely not going to be important if we do that, because the damage is just way too high. Okay, but let's do it anyway. So about half a skull that one explosion does. So yeah, let's just sell this one as well. And then when we get the cooldown, oh my god, this thing is absolutely melting at tier 4. All right, so it's just going to be the final one. Is it going to be able to defeat the tier 5 by itself? And I have a good feeling that it is, just because it's going to overclock itself like a million times. It's going to be max powered. So yeah, degree 72 NG. Is it going to defeat Elite Lunarius by itself? Let's see. All right, here it comes. So let's make sure our sentries are next to the boss, so that we can get some sellbacks and some extra damage going as soon as he appears. So we have the Glue Storm. That's about it. With the damage amplification, let me just have all the sentries. Actually, this green one is in line. So yeah, I'm just going to keep them like this, and then as soon as the boss appears, I think we're going to have to start. But here it comes. Okay, so tier 5 versus an almost fully ultra boosted degree 72 NG Paragon. Is the NG good enough to beat this guy? I feel like it is. Let's start with selling a sentry. So the boss HP is at about 39 million, and if I sell this thing, about 500,000 per explosion, give or take. I think if I'm looking at these things correctly, so not too bad. Let me sell this one as well. Yes, these explosions are definitely doing something. Let me just make sure I'm using the Glue Storm, and let's see how we're doing. So we are gonna get, I think I'm gonna move the blue sentry like this now, so we get the explosion from top, and that's gonna be skull number 1. I think I should have the engine on strong, by the way, so we only focus down the boss. And then I guess just from these side projectiles, like these small towers, are gonna start popping by themselves. itself. So let's actually do a sellback onto this sentry as well. And now I'm gonna lock in place like this when Bloonarius emerges out of the log. Let's have the blue sentry explosion next. As soon as Bloonarius makes a turn, I'm gonna sell it. So let's just wait for a second and let's just place the new one. Bam, there we go, halfway there. This is gonna be it, guys. Yep, this is absolutely gonna be it. I mean, it's about halfway there, and Bloonarius is not even like halfway through the map. So yeah, this is looking very good. Let's just make the sellback onto the next one. And yeah, there are no other towers to take pops, so we can absolutely say that we actually did it. Well, as soon as Bloonarius pops, that is, but yeah, we actually did it. We got all pops versus an elite boss onto a single tower, which is absolutely insane. And this is gonna be the final push, so let's have the green sentry attack like this. Let's have the red sentry next to it up top. The engine itself isn't attacking. Oh my god, 65 million pops. That's a lot. That's insane. This is gonna be the last one, by the way, so let's just start moving these sentries towards the right side. Let me use the glue storm for one last time, probably. Yeah, this engine is actually become so strong that it is capable of doing this. So let's just do the final. I think it's gonna be the last cell of a sentry, and there it is. We actually did it. That is absolutely insane what this engine paragon can do now. I feel like a lot of other paragons are capable of doing this as well, and it's just like so cool doing it. And look at this thing, 71 million pops. Let's just hit review map for a second. 71.3 million pops, and that is all pops in a single game onto one tower versus an elite boss. That's insane. But yeah, that was so fun to play, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.